Yes sir, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy D Nally aka Don Squall, and in today's video we are back with another 3D tuning build, I guess we can call these. So if you guys are not familiar with 3D tuning, it's a mobile app, and we've had some pretty good success on the channel building cars with the app here. So I'm just gonna skim through a couple of the HD resolution slash stance options that we got. Now already right off the bat I'm leaning towards the Evo X. Don't think we've done a Evo on the channel. The 911 Carrera would be pretty dope. That E-class looking sick. I think we've done a couple SVT Cobra builds on Forza. We got that BMW 4 Series Mark II. An E-class Wagon would be pretty dope. The Escalade would also be pretty cool. There's a lot of builds here that I wouldn't mind doing. If you guys see something that you like and want to see built on the channel, let me know down in the comments section. But I think for today's video, we're going to go with that Mercedes-Benz E-class on this one. Now, I am a big fan of the Benzes, especially over the BMWs. But what really drew me to this thing is that, well, it's a station wagon, as you guys can see. So I think what we're gonna do is jump into the building process. Now generally I would skim through the body kit options, but what I think we're gonna do for this one is skip all that, because when we get to like the front bumpers and the rear bumpers, I think we're gonna build our own as opposed to putting on a prefabbed body kit. But first things we need to do is take care of these wheels. So I'm going to check out a couple of our different options here and let you guys know when I find something that I think suits this build. So I think what we're going to do is go with these ADV, I think they're the Advan 5S's here. Now the only reason I want to go with this wheel setup right here is because by the looks of it, we're actually going to be able to stagger this wheel setup. Now I wouldn't mind getting a deeper dish on the rear wheel here. I don't think we're going to apply those changes to the rear wheel. I'm going to put a separate wheel on here. So we're just going to check out our brake options. We got the AMG, and I mean, we got to go with the best of the best here, and I think that's going to be those Willwoods. So next up comes the rear wheels, and this is kind of where I wanted to do the staggered setup. So as you can see, the track function here gives us a little bit more of a lip as opposed to the front wheel, and I really do think that's going to set this car off, especially when we lower it, stance this thing out. I think this is going to look pretty dope. And now that we got our wheels out of the way, we are going to jump into the rear brakes here. So I think we're going to have to go with the Willwood to get that matching setup happening here. Next up comes the front bumper. So I'm going to skim through a few of these and see if there's something that I think is going to look halfway decent. I know with 3D tuning, you do get quite a few ricey options here. And I think the AMG line right here is going to be the way to go. Looks almost OEM, I'm assuming because it's an AMG bumper that it actually is. Front bumper canards, I don't think we're going to be doing any canards on this thing. I want this build to look relatively classy, and I think with the canards it's just going to look a little too rice. We are, however, going to check out some of the front bumper lips, as I do think having somewhat of a lip on here is going to make this thing look pretty decent. Now, I do like the car motoring right off of the bat. I think that's a nice subtle bumper. Let's check out the Duraflex here. Duraflex a little too ricey for me, and the rest are just kind of side canards. So I think this car motoring is going to be the way to go. Looks almost OEM, gives the car a much more aggressive front end look. Now that we got that out of the way, I guess we're going to check out the front bumper splitters, and I'm not sure. It looks like we can add both of them on here. Now, I don't really think we're going to be doing a front splitter with this lip on here. They're actually almost overlapping, so I think we're just going to roll with the front lip there as opposed to the splitters. Number plates, I don't really care too much about. See, we got some 3D tuning. I guess we'll throw on the AMG plate just for shites and giggles here. It looks like it's at the front. Actually, you know what? I don't necessarily mind that. I think we're going to roll with that. Rear bumper. Looks like we got that AMG line. I think is going to be the way to go. Basically looks like it just kind of blacks out that gray accent piece at the back there, so that's looking good. Rear bumper canards, we're gonna just skip on that. We're gonna check out the 3D tuning options here. These ones a little too aggressive, I think, for this build. The 3D tuning 3. Now on any other car these would look pretty cool, but I think just because it's a wagon, they look a little strange on the back here. The APR, not terrible, but not exactly what I'm looking for. Voltex, the Voltex looks pretty good from what I can see. Don't really like those little slots at the bottom of the exhaust though. Let's see what the custom looks like here. Custom 2. Custom 2 doesn't look too bad. Kind of subtle from the side. You can kind of see the little shark fins there. Reminds me of the rear diffuser I used to have on my G35. Rear bumper lips. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to throw any of these on here with that rear diffuser. I don't even think we want to. That first bumper lip was looking ugly, and the rest of them really no better here. Just a little too bulky on the back. The 3D tuning 6 I think would be the one. If I had to put any, that would be the one, but I think we're just gonna roll with the rear diffuser on this thing. Rear number plates, I think we're gonna go again with the AMG plates. I think that's a really nice touch, to be quite honest with you. I do like the way that looks. Now next up we got the side skirts. I do feel like with the front lip and the rear diffuser that we need some sort of a side skirt to make this thing sit a little bit lower from the sides. Doesn't look like any of these side skirts are really doing anything, so I think we're going to go with the AMG line, and then we're going to check out some of our side lips here. Essentially side splitters, which these are, I'm not going to lie, these are giving the car the look that I want. Just something to make that side profile look a little bit lower to the ground. I think we're going to go with the 3D tuning 3 on the side lips here. Side canards we're going to skip out on. Now it would be really cool to get a wide body version of this car, but the big problem with that is that I got the free version and I've yet to be able to adjust the offset of any of the wheels that I've selected here. And I think with the the hella sunk look, I think it's just going to look a little too hovercraft fitment for me. So I think we're going to have to go ahead and skip out on the fender flares. Headlights, looks like we have the stock tinted headlights, and then the Avant-Garde, which is basically the LEDs, which I think look really nice, especially with this grille here. Tail lights we're going to check out. Looks like we just have the factory tail lights as our only option here. Spoilers, I don't think this car really needs a spoiler. Ooh, I spoke too soon. I actually kind of like the one that's popping off of the back of the lip there, and it looks like they all are mounting underneath the window. Oh, I spoke too soon there. That one's a little too ricey for me. Let's see what the Sebin lip looks like, or the Sebin spoiler I should say. VIS Racing, none of these I really like. That actually looks like the there's a little Mercedes hatchback, I forget what it's called. I think the A-class has a spoiler similar to that, but I think what we're gonna do is either the 3D tuning or the 3D tuning 2, and I think the 3D tuning, the first one here, is probably gonna be the way to go. I don't know, man. Kind of makes the back look like a Honda Odyssey. I think we're going to skip out on the spoilers for now. As far as the hood goes, looks like we have the factory hood or the all-terrain hood, which gives you a little bit of a bulge there, and I'm not going to lie, that's looking 100% better. Front fenders only have the option for the factory fenders. Hood scoops, I'm not even going to bother with this thing. We got the hood bulge on there. Looks super OEM, so I think the hood scoops are just going to be a little too ricey. As far as the grills go, it looks like we have a few options. The AMG line, which I believe is on there already. That all-terrain, I think with the front bumper, it's either the front bumper or the plate. It doesn't look like we're able to change that front grille, but luckily with the dots in there, I think this front grille is actually pretty sick, so I'm going to leave that on there. As far as the interior goes, don't really care too much about the interior and all that good stuff, but I guess we'll just throw some Sparko racing seats in there just for funsies here. As far as the trunk lid goes, looks like we have the all-terrain night pack. Not exactly sure what that is. Looks like it just basically blacks out that gray trim on there, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that's terrible. We do have the option for a roll cage. I'm planning on blacking out these windows, so I don't think the roll cage is really going to matter. So I think we're just going to skip out on the roll cage for now. Vinyls, I'm not even going to bother. Like I say, I want to keep this thing classy, looking nice, so we're going to skip out on the vinyls for the time being. As far as the mirrors go, I really think the factory mirrors are nice here, especially with the little reflectors and the blinker LEDs on there. I think, you know, you can't really go wrong with the factory mirrors on this car. Next up, we got the body, which gives you the all-terrain night pack, which essentially blacks out the trim on the side as well, and I think that's going to look perfect, especially once we get a paint job on this thing. I think it's going to look great. So next up, what we got to do is throw on some paint. So I'm going to skim through a couple of paint colors here. Obviously, we're going to select all of them just so when we paint it, it's all one color here. I do like the purple. Green's not bad. Something about a green Mercedes station wagon really gets me going here. How about the orange? The orange looks good, but I think this could be just a little bit brighter. All of these colors are kind of just boring. Let's see if we can select a more aggressive red color here. That looks pretty good there. The kind of lime greenish also looks really good. I do like that green. That does look pretty sick. Blue doesn't look too bad. Purple is the way to go on this thing, so I think that's going to be our choice here. I'm happy with that. Next up, I think we got to tint the windows. Doesn't look like... Not exactly sure how I can tint the windows on this thing. Not sure where the tint's at. It might be windows. Is it in here somewhere? Maybe I just missed it. Take hood, grills, interior, mirrors. No, I don't see the windows there for some reason. Another thing that I'm not seeing is how to raise and lower this thing, man. Usually there's an option here. There we go. Window tint and suspension, both in the same place. So we're going to obviously be tinting up these windows. Nice and dark. Looks great with that purple paint job on there. And then the suspension, we're going to lower this thing. Not too much. I want it to look somewhat usable, even though in this game you don't get the option to drive them. But I do like things to look relatively realistic, especially when I'm playing this game, since you know, you could go stupid low and just make it look ridiculous. But I want it to look like a car that you might see driving on the street. Now we do have the option to turn on the lights, so let's check that out. Beautiful LEDs on there. Just love the way those look. The rear end's just looking sweet. So now that we got that out of the way, I think the only thing left to do is choose a background here and then do our final walk around. So overall, I really think this build turned out nice. I'm a big fan of 3D tuning, the simplicity of it. You can get a little carried away, especially doing like some ricer modifications. If we were going to throw some hood scoops on here, some spoilers, things can get really out of hand quickly. But I love the subtlety of this build. Now I didn't paint the wheels because I like the gunmetal gray on the purple, especially with that offset on the back with the nice little lip on here. I think this is great. Nice subtle car. Aside from the vinyl wrap, this thing is pretty low key. I mean, you can see a little bit of blue when you turn it here in the purple, which I think looks great. Love the fact that we can turn the lights on and off, and I really do like the overall stance of this thing with that front lip, the side splitters, and then that subtle little rear diffuser on there. But I think that's pretty much it. So if you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more and you're not subscribed yet, definitely do so. And again, if you guys have any requests with 3D tuning, let me know. Been playing a little more 3D tuning just because it's a little easier for me to record and edit the videos off of 3D tuning than it is to play, like, let's say Forza. And I don't mind switching it up from time to time. We've been playing Forza on the channel for quite a while, so this is a welcome change. So if you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more and you're not subscribed yet, definitely do so. And as always, I'm your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, and I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and we're gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace.